Not only does he refuse to attend the meeting with Donald Trump, Palmer argues that the meeting itself violates the Teamsters' prohibition on association with insurrectionists and could even be grounds for expulsion from the union. Here is what workers in the U.S. South and the American colonies were up to on from January 20th to the 26th. In new campaigns, we've got 3 workers at Victory Toyota in Triadelphia, West Virginia, filing for a union election with the International Brotherhood of Teamsters. Workers, likely pushed by their employer, filed a petition to decertify the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers, IAMAW, as the union representing 18 workers at Rail Crew Express in Thayer, Missouri. The National Right to Work Foundation is supporting the decertification attempt. The employer filed a petition for a union election after a majority of the 20 workers at a Starbucks in New Orleans, Louisiana, demonstrated support for unionization with Starbucks Workers United. The International Union of Security, Police, and Fire Professionals of America, SPFPA, appears to be raiding a unit of 31 workers at Golden SVCS in Washington, D.C., who are currently represented by the Governed United Security Professionals. 14 workers at Rising for Justice filed a petition to expand their bargaining unit at Rising for Justice in Washington, D.C. 27 workers at Southeastern Paper Company in College Park, Georgia, filed a petition to hold a union election with the Teamsters, Local 528. 42 workers at Collins Landing Systems in Haltom City, Texas, filed a petition to hold a union election with the United Auto Workers, UAW. 7 workers at Leidos in Merritt Island, Florida, filed a petition to hold a union election with the Motion Picture and Video Laboratory Technicians, Allied Crafts, and Government Employees, Local 789, which is an IATSE affiliate. This petition was withdrawn in the same week. 97 workers at U.S. Sugar Savannah Refinery in Port Wentworth, Georgia, filed a petition to hold a union election with the Teamsters, Local 528. 74 workers at Lycée François de la Nouvelle Orleans, which is a free public charter school following both Louisiana state curriculum and French national curriculum in New Orleans, Louisiana. 74 workers there filed a petition to hold a union election with the United Teachers of New Orleans, an AFT affiliate. 15 workers at the San Antonio Report in San Antonio, Texas, filed a petition to hold a union election with the News Guild CWA's Media Guild of the West. In election results, the petition to hold a union election with the United Federation of LEOs among 20 security guards at Christus Health was withdrawn, as was the petition to hold a union election with the United Steelworkers, USW, among 3 workers at Valero in Memphis, Tennessee. The petition to hold a union election with the UAW Local 214 among 4 workers at the American Red Cross was withdrawn, as was the petition to decertify the Transport Workers Union, TWU, Local 513, as the representative of 21 workers at Menzies Aviation in Dallas, Texas, meaning the union remains. 66 security guards at Akima Global Services in Donna, Texas, voted unanimously in favor of unionization with the United Government Security Officers of America. 5 workers at Wells Fargo Bank in Daytona Beach, Florida, voted 4-1 in favor of unionization with the CWA. 11 workers at CMEX in New Braunfels, Texas, voted 9-1 in favor of unionization with the Teamsters, Local 657. 20 workers at Gallows Point Resort in St. John, Virgin Islands, voted 7-12 in favor of decertifying the Seafarers International Union of North America. 12 workers at Asplund Tree Expert in Lexington, Kentucky, voted 9-2 in favor of unionization with the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, IBEW, Local 369. 3 workers at High Point Cannabis in St. Louis, Missouri, voted 0-2 against unionization with the United Food and Commercial Workers, UFCW, Local 655. 10 workers at MV Transportation in West Palm Beach, Florida, voted unanimously in favor of unionization with the Amalgamated Transit Union, ATU, Local 1577. 4 workers at MCOR Government Services in Alexandria, Virginia, voted unanimously in favor of unionization with the International Union of Operating Engineers, IUE, Local 99. 64 workers at Morton Salt in Cape Canaveral, Florida, voted 30-30 in their union election, and ties go to the employer, meaning the USW will not represent these workers at this time. 1,232 workers at Mangual's office cleaning service in Ganaibo, Puerto Rico, voted 348 to 179 in favor of unionization with the Service Employees International Union, SEIU Local 1996. And finally, 24 workers at Rainbow Blossom in Louisville, Kentucky, voted 13-2 in favor of unionization with the UFCW Local 227. Hey, 5 seconds. Just wanted to say that this is only possible because of our donors. If you want to see more of this, then consider donating yourself at tvlr.fm/donate. In strikes and bargaining updates, after the merger between Microsoft and Activision has gone through, Microsoft is now laying off an astounding 1,900 workers in just the gaming department. Some in labor supported the merger, including the Communication Workers of America, which represents some game workers at Microsoft, though none that are affected by the layoffs. When the acquisition was completed in October, the CWA said this, quote, represents a milestone in the effort to improve working conditions in the video game industry, because of the neutrality agreement the company signed to garner the union's support for the merger. United Campus Workers CWA at Jacksonville State in Alabama are calling for a $15 an hour minimum wage by the end of 2024 and $17 an hour by the end of 2025. Workers there currently make as little as $8.25 an hour. The union went public last year and is wall-to-wall open to any employee. The American Federation of Musicians, AFM, are in negotiations with the Alliance of Motion Pictures and Television Studios, AMPTP, and held a rally last week to support the lack of movement, to protest the lack of movement, and IATSE pledged their support. Contract expiration is fast approaching for Teamsters at Anheuser-Busch and without a contract. The union issued a warning to the company to sign a contract or face a nationwide strike and boycotts. The Teamsters are planning on another roundtable with Donald Trump next week, and controversy is bubbling up around this as it was revealed that O'Brien sent a memo to all General Executive Board members mandating that they attend the meeting after whispers of some protesting the meeting by not attending. Southern General Executive Board member John Palmer replied with a stern memo responding, indicating that not only does he refuse to attend the meeting with Donald Trump, but Palmer argues that the meeting itself violates the Teamsters Constitution based on its prohibition on association with insurrectionists, and could even be grounds for expulsion from the union of participants in the meeting. In politics and legislation, the CWA became the latest union to endorse a ceasefire in Gaza, as the humane position is becoming more and more mainstream in the labor movement. The SEIU signed on to calls for a ceasefire in Gaza a few weeks ago. The Los Angeles Metro Board of Directors is set to approve a major contract worth $730 million to a Hyundai subsidiary. The UAW and other community groups are pressuring the board not to award the contract until Hyundai agrees to a nationwide community benefits agreement, particularly given Hyundai's recent history union busting and abusing children, immigrants, and prisoners. The UAW endorsed Joe Biden for president last week. The timing was unexpected on the part of many, but the move itself was not, particularly the timing being unexpected, particularly given the Biden administration's refusal to toe the union's line on a ceasefire in Gaza. Biden's staff even threatened elected UAW leaders with canceling his speech if these UAW leaders did not take off their UAW for a ceasefire pin. The UAW leader did not budge, proving the threat from the White House an empty one. In internal union affairs, the new Bureau of Labor Statistics numbers for union membership are out, and union density declined yet again, falling from 10.1 to 10.0%, dangerously close to single-digit unionization rates. This is not because unions lost members, though. On the contrary, there were 139,000 new union members in 2023, but non-union job growth outpaced these numbers. Nationwide, the trend was for union density to fall in union strongholds like the North and the West and increase in more anti-union areas like the South. This includes Alabama, which saw an increase in both union membership and union density for the second year in a row. And finally, we have heard reports of the Alabama Education Association raiding both the Birmingham and Central Alabama American Federation for Teachers locals. We will hopefully have more to report on this next week, but just a reminder that the AEA is very explicit that they are not a union and so therefore are not subject to any of the what pleasantries that the AFL-CIO unions might award some within the House of Labor.
You just saw a clip from the Valley Labor Report. We are live every Saturday morning from 9:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. And we pride ourselves on keeping all of our content free to everybody so that we can talk to as many working folks as possible. If you support the work that we're doing, you think that it's important, you think that it's good, then consider making a monthly contribution to the project, and you can do that on our website, tvlr.fm.